Hey guys, back here with Tua for another video. Update pup date time, week 43. If you're new to this channel, I do these types of videos every single Sunday on my Bullmastiff Tua. Basically just updating you guys as he turns another week older. Trying to make note of anything significant from the week, whether that be his physical size, personality traits, what I'm feeding him, his drooling, what I'm doing to socialize him, all kinds of stuff. And basically I'm just doing these for myself to look back on one day on his life, but also to just try to create, a great log of information of what it was like living with and raising a bull mastiff puppy from the day I brought him home until the day he's no longer with us, essentially. And hopefully it just creates a great log for people to look back on at very specific times throughout a bull mastiff's life, to help anybody that would be interested in possibly getting one. You could see kind of at least what I experienced with Tua at week-by-week breakdowns of certain ages. So go ahead, check out all the videos if you are interested in the breed. Usually I start these videos out with just anything that I noticed was possibly like kind of a newer thing from the week, or just something that stuck out to me. There really wasn't a whole lot this week that stuck out, compared to like last week, but I just kind of want to reiterate, like, he is very good with our kids. We have a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old, but at the same time, he can still get very excited, and I don't want to say it would be like dangerous like around the kids, but when he's excited, he definitely will knock them down. He hasn't like really hurt any of them bad. He stepped on our 2-year-old's foot this week when he was kind of running around, and obviously she was pretty over dramatic about that. And I mean, he'll even step on our feet sometimes, and it does hurt because he's a big boy now, and if that claw hits you just right, it doesn't feel good. But he stepped on her foot and she was bleeding and stuff, but none of it's ever been out of aggression. It's just out of excitement. And when he's not in that excited mode, that play mode, he's very, very good with them. I've shown many videos on this channel of our 2-year-old literally crawling on top of him and stuff like that, and he just doesn't care. He's great with them. But when he is in that puppy play mode, excitement mode, it's kind of, you're flipping a coin of if he's going to like run into them, knock them down, stuff like that. So you definitely want to monitor your dog and your kid if they're playing with young kids that are, way, way, way smaller than him. Just wanted to kind of throw that out there and reiterate that. Another thing is not related to Tua necessarily, but we have over 700 subscribers now on this channel, which is absolutely crazy for me to think compared to where we started here. I know it's not like a big amount in the grand scheme of things, but to me that's absolutely wild. So thank you to everybody that has subscribed. But I was just kind of curious, like, how many of you that are subscribed are current Bull Mastiff owners, or are you just interested in the breed? Or what's your situation? I know there's some of you that routinely comment every single week, so there's a handful of you that I know your exact situation, but just kind of more out of curiosity for me, like, are most of you guys just interested in the breed, or are most of you guys current Bull Mastiff owners, or are some of you guys, like I know some of you are, just you used to have one and now you just kind of like to watch videos on them? Go ahead and comment your situation in the comment section down there and just let me know, just out of my own curiosity. And also, as I always say at the end of these videos, if there's anything you want me to touch on that I don't already, obviously let me know and I'll do my best to do that. But now I'll go ahead and get into the stuff that I normally touch on every single week. And like usual, we'll start with weight. Tua was 120 pounds last week. And I just got him weighed in, and he's 120 pounds still, so he did not gain any weight. And I want to say that's maybe the second time ever that he hasn't put on any weight in a week-by-week time frame. So kind of interesting, but not too surprising that that's going to slow down. So he's 120 pounds still at the 43-week mark. I would anticipate, like I said, that it will slow down, and maybe we have weeks where it's only a pound, half a pound, or nothing altogether. Because he'll probably max out around 150, and these dogs aren't supposed to stop growing completely and filling out until about 2 years old, give or take. So he can't just continue gaining, 2-3 pounds every single week, or he'd be like a 200-pound dog, way over. So Not too surprising, but like I always say, we want to put weight on him nice and slow, so perfectly fine by me. He seems to be at a nice healthy weight based on, where I can see like his ribs and stuff like that. He's still overall skinny, but he is slowly starting to fill out, which is great. He seems to be on a good path as far as putting on weight goes. Food is another thing that I touch on every week. I do supplement his kibble with raw food. This week we fed him ground turkey, beef liver, and blueberries to go along with his kibble. And I haven't mentioned the brand of his kibble to you guys in quite a while. I do put links down in the description and in the comments every single week to his kibble and just any other products that I'm using for him. I update those periodically as I come across stuff that I like, so go ahead and check all those out as well. But his kibble is Diamond Naturals large breed formula. It was originally recommended to us by our breeder, and our vet also approved of it, said it was a good brand. But with the raw food, I basically am kind of at like a 50-50 to 60-40 split, with 60% of that being kibble, 40% of that being raw. I'm probably really close to approaching a 50-50 split now. And it's just really good for the dog. It gives them lots of nutrients that they wouldn't normally get through their kibble. I would encourage you all to research it as best you can. I was very unfamiliar with it before I got Tua. And I've owned dogs my whole life, and I just never really looked into raw diet, but I'm glad I did now. It kind of becomes a fun thing, like I say, to just experiment with new foods for them, see what he likes, see what he dislikes. Tua doesn't seem to dislike anything when it comes to food. He is an absolute monster when it comes to eating. Absolutely loves his food. But go ahead, check out raw diet, do all your research, and come up with your own conclusions. But and obviously, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask me. But I'm no expert on it. I'm still just learning myself. But definitely a good thing to get your dog some different types of foods. Socialization is another thing that I touch on every single week. Unfortunately, it was another kind of bad week for it. I got him on one walk only, and we didn't see any new people or dogs on those walks. We mostly kind of played in the yard this week. I know last week's video I said I was going to make it a point to get him into a store this week, and I really tried to, but we got so busy this week with kids' activities a few nights a week, and work is really slammed right now for myself, and my brother was moving this week, so I was helping him with that, so it's just kind of been crazy busy. But I was kind of thinking about it. I mean, that's why you want to socialize these dogs as early and often as you can, because you are going to have weeks where you just don't have the time. And I've mentioned this many times in past videos. He's been socialized a lot from the day we brought him home. So a couple bad weeks or even a bad month, I don't think is necessarily going to affect him a whole lot. But that also kind of got me thinking too, like when we got Tua, it was in the wintertime. And in general, that's kind of a slower time for me with what I do for work. I have lots of days off and things like that. So I was just kind of thinking, like, if you're going to get a puppy and you're in a similar situation to that where you have a time of the year that's slower, whether it be with work or your kids' activities or your own activities, I would really encourage you to get a puppy during that time when you're slower and not busier. Because if we would have gotten Tua in like the middle of summer, there's no way that we would have been able to socialize him as well as we have and put in the amount of time that we have. And maybe he wouldn't even have been as good a dog now with people and dogs, because we wouldn't have been able to socialize him as well. Where when we got him in the winter, when life was just slower for us, we were able to like dedicate like hours a day to his socialization. So just something to really think about. If you haven't got a puppy yet, you're thinking about getting a puppy, try and schedule that during a time of the year where you're not like crazy busy, so you can really focus on that socialization, because it's so important with these bigger bred dogs in general, and bull mastiffs. Drooling is another thing that I touch on every single week. That's pretty much been unchanged for a while now. He is a drooler, but like I always say, about 90% of that is related to just when he's drinking water, and it'll build up in his mouth and his jaws, and it comes pouring out after that. And like I've said before, it will get really messy pouring out onto the floor. You do want to wipe that up, unless you don't mind it getting on your floor. We give him his water outside a lot now too, so we just don't have to deal with it. He will also drool if he's panting heavily because it's hot out, he's been running around, stuff like that. But like I said, 90% of it's just kind of related to when he's drinking water. It hasn't really been a big deal for me. I'm usually standing right there anyway when he's drinking water, but sometimes he'll drink water and I'll have to get up off the couch because I can hear him doing that and I don't want the drool to get on the floor. And I know drooling is a big deal for some people when they're looking into getting a bull mastiff, but I will say in my situation with Tua, it's really only been water related where it's an issue. And like I say, not even really an issue because you know he's going to drool after that, so you're just ready with a rag. Energy is another thing that I touch on every single week. He had kind of an up week. For the last, I don't know how many videos, but for the last, month and a half, 2 months, I've been saying it's definitely been going down, progressively going down. And this week it was kind of up for him. Not like crazy up or anything, but he just wanted to do more running around, more playfulness. And I think I just kind of chalked that up to, we like I said before, we had a really busy week, so we didn't really get him out on walks as much as we would have liked to, or get him out mentally stimulated and stuff like that. So I'd chalk that up to that. But still kind of his routine self where he has, an hour or two in the morning where he wants to play and an hour or two at night. But I would say it was just more intense play during those kind of time windows. But during the day, again, he pretty much is lazy and sleeps all day. If he's not sleeping, he's at least laying down. And that's kind of his routine. Wake up, eat breakfast, wants to play for an hour or two, and then chill all day long. And then kind of right before dinner time and after dinner time is that, 1 to 2, maybe 3 hour window where he does want to play and run around. Barking is the last thing that I touch on every single week. That's unchanged as well. He's not really much of a barker, which is kind of a breed standard. The only situations that he is barking in, for the most part, is if he's playing with another dog. Particular our dog, our miniature pinscher. He likes to bark at her, just to mess with her and stuff, I would imagine. And then if he's in any sort of like guarding situation, if he hears strange noises or sees people, that he's not familiar with and he's around our house, I'll go ahead and show a video now of some situations like that. And that's basically what that looks like. But if he's outside of our yard or outside of our house, I don't know that I've ever really heard him bark. We can pass by dogs in their yard as we're on walks and stuff, and he'll bark, or he won't bark at them, but they'll be barking, pretty crazy at him. And he just is on alert. But I would honestly say, like, outside of our house, like, thinking about it now, I don't think I've ever heard him bark. It's just been around, like, guarding type situations around the yard or around the house. So that's kind of interesting, but like I said, they're not really known to be huge barkers except for when they need to be. That's pretty much it for the week, guys. As usual, if there's anything that you'd like me to touch on that I don't already, go ahead and let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching, guys, and take care.